All right, let's get right into this one. This is the breakdown, or not the breakdown, but the behind the scenes of the new Invincible versus. Surprise. This and how you call it, Marvel Token, or however you say it, that basically the Marvel fighting game, those have been huge surprise. I haven't heard any news of these games before their trailers, and they did not disappoint. Both of them have different styles. Well, in a way, they're both tag team, but their style's a little different. Love the franchises, obviously. Y'all know me. I love Invincible. I love Marvel. Yo, we're eating next year. The fact those two games will come out next year and hopefully 2XKL, I don't know why it's taking 2XKL so long. I know for some reason people are now talking bad about the game. I'm still hyped for it. That's still one of my most anticipated games is 2XKL. I don't know what happened for people to talk trash about. First it was hype, now it's not. So I don't know what that is. Y'all can let me know in the comments. But let's get right into this behind the scenes.
Had enough yet?
I trusted you!
Ready to bleed?
Invincible is best suited for a fighting game, in my opinion.
Let's do this!
Oh, and thank you for telling me, the one in the comments when I reacted to this. I looked up the studio that was behind the game, and I said the ones who made the Telltale games. But even though that's what I researched, but someone in the comments told me it's actually the people who did Killer Instinct that's doing this game. So, hey, that's even better because I'm a fan of Killer Instinct. I don't think it gets enough praise as it should. It's very underrated, but is in my opinion is legendary. But thank you for telling me that. I had no idea because I researched it. It said Telltale, the people who made Telltale games. So yeah, thank y'all for telling me that. But that makes this game even better.
Hell yeah. These guys were able to execute lightning in a bottle in a way that I've never seen.
Oh, look at Maximilian.
I love this shit.
Oh, he was part of it? He's part of the team? Hold on.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. These guys were able to execute lightning in a bottle in a way that I've never seen in the industry before.
Oh, he's giving him credit. Okay, I was gonna say he's
so good.
part of making this game. Still, that's cool to see him. He's the GOAT, in my opinion, one of the GOATs
I can't wait for
of fighting game content creators.
Not your son anymore! I'm the guy who's going to throw you off this planet for good. I love you, Eve. You make me hurt you. I'm not holding back.
Hey, I love you, but I'm gonna take you
First
down.
impressions of playing Invincible Versus was a huge moment for me. Oh yeah. I've had a lot of like really cool experiences. I've been on sets and watched my comics get turned into TV shows.
Even though they got abolished by Omni-Man, I hope that they still release them characters, the ones who was part of that team that Omni-Man destroyed. Still use them in the game. That would still be cool.
It was so magical and so exciting. I cried.
Hey, when it's your piece, masterpiece, I feel you. You put a lot of hard work into it.
I think one of the key
Oh, look at that.
elements
That
to
EX
Invincible-
backing up. Hold on. It looked like an EX dash. Look at this. Right here. Huh.
I think one of the key elements to Invincible, be it the comic or the show, is the insane and absolutely brutal fights. It's kind of our marquee thing, and we do these absolutely epic battles that you experience on your couch.
It's like Mortal Kombat gonna have competition now with their
This
brutality
game
and fighting
is really
games.
the first time that you can actually experience these and feel them as you're living them. And to be honest, some of the fights in the game can get kind of more intense than the things that we've been able to accomplish in the show, which is really
Oh
exciting.
wow, look at that.
It's something that dials up the intensity of action, the intensity of violence, the intensity of combat. And to me, one of the most impactful things.
That's
in a
cool they
fighting
got
game is
Max
quick
up in
progression.
there.
And that's the thing that my brain always goes to. Like when you press buttons, when you do stuff, what is the response?
Dude, this big dude. Oh my god, that assist is crazy.
And yeah, watching a character, you know, a 3v3 tag fighter with so much gore, that's like the first thing that was like, wow, this is different. This is something I've never seen before.
Yeah, team-based
Most
game
fighting
that's
games
gory.
nowadays, you don't have the opportunity to create something
Tag team, I
completely
should
new,
say.
right? Most of these fighting games that exist, they're very high in the iterative number of whatever their series is, and if you deviate from that too much, the fan base kind of revolts against you. They're like, dude, that's not my same game that I'm going to be liking. But in this opportunity we have, we can do whatever we want, right?
I think what the FGC is looking for kind of is similar to what other people are looking for. It's just like, give me something new. Give me something I haven't seen before. Especially people that are fans of Invincible, they're gonna be like, oh wow, I've never seen it in this light.
I am ending you. I see it all.
It would be funny if they actually have finishers in the match. That's like Fatality in Mortal Kombat, but a little different. They put their own version.
I'm the narrative director.
That's going to be something if they do that.
That means that it's my responsibility to make sure that this game is a kick-ass story.
Like more of a brutality,
that all
not a
characters sort of,
fatality.
like, shine through.
Where you can end it in a brutal way during the combo. Not something like a finish him fatality. But as you're doing the combo and at the end, you have this finisher that's very brutal. That would be cool if they have something like that.
Authentic to the Invincible universe.
Cower before me, half-breed. You're ready to be on a full-blood Viltrumite.
There's a lot of fighting and a lot of matchup that are really cool. It really works as a fighting game, but I think the coolest thing about it is that there's a lot of matchups that never really occurred in the comic or the television show, and you actually get to see those in a fighting game, which is really exciting to me.
Building this game.
Yeah, that would be cool to have that Flash
critical to be
character in
authentic
there.
to the IP. So when you take a character from the show or for the comics,
Have a
and
speedster
you
in the
examine
fighting
their
game.
personality, like the way that they move, the way they react to others, you look at where are the opportunities where I can translate that and really amplify it. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll break down scenes. We'll look at, like, would they move like that? Does Mark have that ability? Would he do that thing? How would he respond to someone if they defeated one of his teammates? How would he introduce himself to someone new that he's never met before? Or someone he's quite familiar with, who he thinks is, downright fucking evil. Sorry for the F-bomb.
One of the things that I found it most challenging in terms of figuring out our characters and environments is how we make them feel unique. We do want the characters to have the same sort of body type, the same overall proportions, the same silhouette, but then at that point, when you get to that baseline, it's a question of how do I build upon it? How do I add those secondary, tertiary details from the rips in the clothes to the blood stains to the smaller details in the hair and the facial features? We want it to feel like Mark through and through.
That look good.
And that's exactly why it's exciting, because it's a challenge.
Skybound is a really hands-on company, and it just adds a level of authenticity that I think is kind of unparalleled.
So we're still doing some polish on it, but that's probably gonna be one of the bigger ones that we do. We really wanted to stand out with.
That's amazing.
I got the Skybound, and I was catching up with Mike Willett, and I just said, what was the happiest time in your career? And he said, working on Killer Instinct, Double Helix Games, making a fighter with the most talented people we know.
I said, hey Patrick, I want to start another studio, and I want to work on combat fighting games, things that we love, things that are part of like our DNA.
And he's like, that's my dream. That's what I want to do.
We decided to call the studio Quarter Up. It pays homage to an era that we came from, like the arcade era. But it's really a statement that says, like, we're here and we're up for the challenge. We got next.
I've been working with Mike Willett, REP. I just watched season 1 of Invincible because he had mentioned, maybe you should watch this. And I was like, the characters are there. They're amazing characters.
Yeah, I like to do their
characters
research.
that are going to really shine in a fight game. And so for us, that was a lot of the hard work is kind of that part had been done already with the IP. Now we just need to make it. And so we started reaching out to everybody.
Essentially, when Mike Willett calls, I pick up the phone. He's a guy that I love working with. I was aware of Invincible. I was just like, oh my God, what don't they have? Kaiju, superheroes, monsters.
I would love to see gameplay of Battle Beast. Battle Beast should be fire.
It's good problems to have, right?
So when Dave and Mike reached out to me, I thought it was a pipe dream at first, but I'm like, oh really?
He's like, for real?
Is that a real thing? And I'm like, I am very much interested. Like, I am super down, like, I'm in, let's fucking go. And then that doubled when they told me the project, Invincible, as a fighting game. And I'm like,
genius.
oh my God.
I love it.
Immediately, as soon as they said those words in that sequence, like, I just started thinking of what we could do.
Learning that all the same folks that put together one of the
and
most
seeing Maximilian there
games,
makes
now
it
one of
feel
the
a
most
lot
well-received
feel
fighting
good too, because there's no way they didn't have him there without getting his input on how to do this. You know what I'm saying? So seeing Maximilian there and him talking to us is encouraging to see, because Maximilian speaks for us, the gaming community, mostly the fighting game community. So when you see them hearing his input, you can tell they want to be in tune with us, and having him as a spokesman for me proves that. I don't know. I could be wrong, but for me personally, for my opinion, it's encouraging to see them go to Maximilian and have him there, let him give his 2 cents and what they could do to, possibly fix it. whatever, just having his take. That's just my viewpoint.
Games of all time.
If you don't think so,
It's
that's
working
that's
on
cool.
another
But in my
fighting game.
opinion,
It's
it's
kinda
cool to
like a
have
dream
someone
come
like
true.
him there.
The crew that put together Killer Instinct, that's now working on Invincible, is pretty much responsible for approaching fighting games with a different perspective, with something that wanted to give agency to players that were on defense and offense, to have you have a level of mind games beyond just what's going on in that one specific moment. They want you to think of what happened before and what happened after a lot. That's actually in this game too. In the 3v3 game, you sort of like can touch the opponent once and they're toast, man. It's just, it's Kaputski for that character. I really
Whoa, did their body just
in this game
broke
too.
down when you
in the
lose?
3v3 game, you sort of like can touch the opponent once and they're toast.
Oh
It's
my
just,
goodness.
It's Kaputski for that character. I really dig the
That
fact
is
there's
a
so much
brutal,
defense.
like that's basically like a brutality. I know it's one of the three that got destroyed, but still, to see how the body was just gone like that, that's
And offensive
crazy.
options in this game. But the commitment
I
to
like
having a
that.
full 3v3
Look at that.
tag
That I like
fighting
that.
from, you know, a developer that hasn't done that before. Leads me
As
to
a
hope there's
YouTuber,
gonna
we
be a
have to
whole bunch of
edit stuff like
concepts and
that, you know,
things.
make it black and white, but still, just gaming wise, that is awesome.
Team, it's
That
been
brings
fun,
respect
but
to
it wasn't just
Invincible.
getting a bunch of all the old heads back together again. It's finding new blood, people that either tied to the FGC.
Like
or
outside of
hyper
Mortal
talented,
Kombat, we
really
haven't seen a
passionate
fighting
about
game
the
with this
work
kind
and
of
what they do,
brutality,
and
or
I
I
think
haven't, unless you can.
Fan art is
Is it
actually
Samurai? I forgot.
how I got this game.
Wait, Samurai, I think it was called Showdown. I never really played it, but I think it was called Samurai Showdown. I think they were mature rated with theirs, but I don't think like this. Not like this or Mortal Kombat, but close enough. But yeah, basically something like this, being this brutal, I haven't seen since Mortal Kombat.
As an artist, I'm always gravitate towards characters that I find interesting. My relationship with Invincible was pretty much love at first sight, both in terms of the characters, but also just the animated sequences, storytelling, the world, everything just felt super unique. And one of the things I'm most excited about this role is the opportunity to take these established characters that you've seen in the comic and you've seen in the show and find a way to make them feel like an inherent part of the game that we're creating without jeopardizing what made them so great to begin with.
I've been a fan of Invincible since I was, you know, young. Like, not that I'm old now, but I've been a fan of Invincible forever. And I've been reading these comics like since the beginning. And I just know them like the back
I'm
of my
looking forward to
hand.
seeing what
And
Battle
there's all
Beast and
these, like,
Conquest
little
look like,
tidbits
and
things that I'll
Alan.
pick up on that you might not even ever think about. And so a lot of times people are coming to me with questions like, where Mark can bleed from? Like, does Mark bruise? How much blood can we have? Like, where is that blood coming from? It's usually the orifices. It's always the orifices.
Mark?
I wonder, will they actually have Oliver as a character? Or they don't want to make a brutal game where you see a kid get brutalized, you know what I'm saying? So, I hope because he's in the show and he's doing brutal stuff, they put him in the game. I don't know if they would or not, but I hope so.
I don't know. Never got to do that before.
Even if they do the comic version where he's more of an adult, I'll be cool with that. But I would prefer the kid version from the
Mike
show.
here, Dave, also with Dave, and we're going to be doing an FGC very first look with Rip. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Rip is in the house.
I got invited over
May
to Mike's
14,
house, like it wasn't like
2024.
a studio or
Wow.
something. So I go over to his house, I knock on the door, he opens it up, I walk in, they have a TV set up there, and it just says Invincible on. I was like, oh damn, we're doing Invincible.
Have a seat, dude.
Oh my God. I saw it super duper early. Like, you have to understand, it did not look anything like it looks now. So originally when I first played it, there was only two characters. It was just Mark and Eve. And it was supposed to be a tag fighter, 3-on-3. And then I remember I went home and I came back for the next test and I was like, you know, I had the shower thought where I was like, you guys are the KI devs. Why don't you guys bring some of KI into a tag fighter? Because that's never been done. So then the next one I get a DM from Mike Willett. He's like, this could work. He's like, you should apply.
There's a little blood again.
The combo potential is really good.
T-fighter games in general.
I'll take a sip of water when I goddamn feel like I need to take a sip of water. I don't need you directing me on when I take a sip of water.
I love the finishers, bro. How their bodies literally break down.
This is just the biggest and best Invincible game that we've ever done. This is a huge fighting game that has a ton of really complex work being put into it to make it the biggest and best Invincible game ever.
So we're trying to put all of what we got into the game. Every dollar gets spent into making.
Well, you got a
it better.
supporter here.
We love the world that's been created by Robert, Corey, and Ryan, and everyone understands the mission, like what we're trying to do. Like, and just bringing their A game, bringing their talent like every day. We want this to be a tournament quality game that's played for years and years to come.
He looks like a lot of
The way that we
fun.
look at it is it has to have compelling systems and gameplay.
I don't know
and
why,
high
but she
moments.
reminds me of Storm in
It has to have art that
Marvel's
is
Capcom 2.
Not just evocative of the IP, but
Her
will stand the
movesets in
test
here.
of time on its own. When the FGC gets their hands on the game, what I hope happens is they get a ton of excitement. They get to see familiar faces that they want to dig into. And critically, I hope they go, oh, I want to lab this game. I want to lab this game for hours. That would make me so happy. It's not just the hype and excitement from like doing big combos or the brutality, but for them to really want to dig into the systems that are there, because I think that's what's going to keep them there for the long haul.
Oh, that was thick. That was thick.
And I don't mean just satisfied or like, oh, that's great. It's like, no, it's got to be fantastic. It's got to blow people's socks off.
Just fucking die!
Yeah, I love how they have the voice actors in here. All right, well, I'm excited. That looked really good. That's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know in the conversation what you feel, how you feel about it, and seeing Maximilian in there, it put a bigger smile on my face. Just as a fan of his, but also seeing the developers bring him on. I know they bring him on to get advice from him. There's no way they have him on there just for him to talk nice about it. You know, I see Maximilian as an honest person, so I don't think he'll just say stuff just to say it. So for him to be there giving it praise, it looks like it's in good hands. But we'll see. I don't know when they're gonna. It's somewhere in 2026. I don't think they have an actual release date. Yeah, so 2026. So we got a ways away anyway. But I'm excited. Let me know what you feel about it in the comments below. I'll see you later.